What's up, guys? It's Brandon with Low T Nation, and today's video is going to be on how testosterone helps you actually lose fat. We get this question constantly, so I want to just throw it out there so it might can help answer some questions. Testosterone and other hormones, we're going to cover some other hormones, they're just part of a bigger equation, right? Testosterone is not some magical key to fat loss. It doesn't turn on some metabolic marker in the body where your body just starts burning fat. All of fat loss, 100%, and fat gain for that matter, is just energy balance, right? It's calories in, it's calories out. It is that simple, but it's not that simple, because inside that calories in, calories out formula, it just sounds like two numbers, right? It's incredibly complex, right? Hormones, vitamin deficiency, sleep, stress, the amount of lean muscle you have, all of these different things go into the calories in, calories out formula, and testosterone is a big piece of that, all right, along with some other hormones. So first and foremost, if a guy has low testosterone, he has low energy, okay? Energy is so important. It's called energy balance, right? That's calories in, calories out. It is the fundamental law of thermodynamics which governs any kind of weight loss, or I should say fat loss or fat gain. It's just basic thermodynamics. It's energy, okay? So when you don't have any and you're tired all the time, you're burning so many fewer calories, okay? And they've proven this in research, especially around thyroid. We're going to touch on this in a second. That when your hormones are down, you literally blink slower. You literally blink slower. How crazy is that? All right, people that they'll put a bunch of people in a deficit, they'll put a bunch of people in a slight surplus. All of these people take less steps in a day, right? Because your body is literally conserving energy because it's got down-regulated hormones. So testosterone is no different, okay? But it's not just you have a little more energy, it's what you do with that energy. You're going to say yes to certain things that you would have said no to, okay? Obviously the single biggest complaint we have with testosterone, guys don't like losing muscle, they don't like getting fat, they don't like having issues in the bedroom, but the primary complaint we have is the guys just don't have the energy to do anything, right? They've got a beautiful wife, they don't want to touch her, they love their kids so much, they just don't want to play with them, they're just tired all the time, they don't want to go to work, they love their job. When you feel like that, it's hard to burn calories because you literally just want to sit on the couch. And when you're sedentary, you eat more calories, right? So our surplus is growing even more. These are averages, right? It's not everybody, but these are kind of how most people end up acting in certain situations, all right? So when a guy has low testosterone, I rambled there for a bit, excuse me, but when a guy has low testosterone and we restore his testosterone levels, he's like, oh, yeah, I'll go to the lake this weekend, or yeah, I'll go golfing this weekend, or you know what, I'm going to make it back to the gym, okay? Now, there's another aspect of this with testosterone. If you are working out, there is a tremendous increase to the amount of calories you can burn. Now, cardio is cool. I'm not pooping on cardio by any means, but when you're done with a cardio session, you're done burning calories, okay? Well, even though you burn less calories during a physical workout, if you're lifting heavy, right, like moderate intensity, moderate volume, moderate weight, and above, you're introducing some serious hypertrophy to the muscles. Serious hypertrophy to the muscles is incredibly energy intensive to fix. Your body has to come back and stick all these amino acids in your muscle and let them recover, and it even grows a little bit, right? I mean, out of fractional percent, but it grows a little bit. That function is so energy intensive and so calorically intensive in the body, you're burning a lot more calories, right? We're shifting that energy balance in the right direction for us. So we energize the guy, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do all these things, he's burning a few more calories. If he starts lifting weight, he really accelerates that. But that's all it is, guys. You have more energy to do things, to say yes to things that you're going to go and burn a lot more calories with. Now, especially if you've worked out for a while on the new testosterone level, you're going to carry new lean muscle, right? That's energy intensive just to maintain, right? Just to keep the lights on, just to keep that muscle alive, you're having to burn more calories in a day. So we're slowly shifting our calories in, calories out algorithm in a negative direction, which is a positive thing, right? We want to burn more calories than we're introducing. And so that's how testosterone works primarily. It starts here, and then you start doing all the things that you burn calories doing. If one of those things is working out, you accelerate the program. If you do that for a long time, now you've got a lot more lean muscle. That accelerates the whole program. It's like everything kind of starts working together in that accord. Okay, so that was testosterone. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about thyroid and how that affects energy levels, but we're going to come at it from two different directions. And guys, if you are talking to your primary care about losing weight, or you're talking to a weight loss specialist, okay? Actually, more so if you're talking to a weight loss specialist, because they at least tend to know what they're talking about most of the time. And a lot of times they don't. Your hormones can be affected by the state that you're in from a calorie perspective tremendously, okay? So a lot of people will have Hashimoto's, or they just have a really weak thyroid and they cannot make enough thyroid hormone to have adequate levels of energy. And thyroid affects energy more than testosterone even, okay? A poor thyroid can affect someone's resting energy expenditure or their basal metabolic rate by like 25 to 30%. The amount of calories that equates to in a day, in a week, in a month is profound. And this is why people that have really sluggish thyroids, they put on fat easily, because their energy expenditure is so small. And if they're eating at a normal rate, well, they're at a surplus, right? And again, it multiplies daily, weekly, quarterly, yearly. It all adds up, and it adds up to fat. And it's a nasty cycle to try to spin out of, because the person has a slow metabolism and very low energy. Okay, they're just tired all the time. And so that's really tough, right? The trick to being healthy is it's one thing, it's sustainability, right? Because if you don't like it, if you don't enjoy the food, if you hate the workout that you're doing, it's just simple. You're not going to do it, and it's not going to work. So for someone to sustainably do anything in a positive direction while they have such low energy levels and a slow metabolism, man, it's tough. So if your testosterone levels are very low, you have to get that fixed to get good energy levels, right? Otherwise, you're just simply not going to make the decisions to do the right stuff, period. If your thyroid hormone is low, okay, and we come at this from a free T3 perspective primarily. We look at T4, we look at reverse T3. We also want to see what a person's like TPO, with their thyroid peroxidase antibodies are, just to make sure they don't have Hashimoto's. TSH is the last thing we look at. It is the least impactful metric in the formula, okay? But you need to know it for a couple of reasons. But if your doctor is just looking at your TSH and only going off your TSH, you need to get a specialist to deal with this, okay? If your hormones in the thyroid matrix are low, you have to get that fixed. You're just not going to have the energy and the mindset to do anything long term, right? Anybody can do anything short term. Another problem is if you have a reduced metabolic rate, okay, you have to drop your calories into such a point where it might even be hard to get good nutrition, but you're also starving, right? If you have to go down to 1,000 calories because your resting energy expenditure is like, 1,100 calories just to burn any fat, that's not healthy. You have to fix that. And we see this. We have calorimeters and bioimpedance analyzers that help us truly understand literally to the calorie what someone's resting energy expenditure is, and they are all over the place. And it's crazy. Also, we'll have two people that look just alike, and they'll be 600 or 800 calories apart. And it's because if the hormones if they were the horse, right, and the fat gain was the cart, that means you started off with low hormones, right? Because of that, you ate normal, you were in a surplus, and you put on fat. Well, you have a slow metabolism, right? But if you just overate, right, and that what you had moderate amounts of energy, you were fine, but you were eating up here. This is your surplus. It multiplied into a bunch of weight. Well, guess what? You have a fast metabolism, most people, right? The more you eat, typically your body upregulates these hormones just like it downregulates them when you're starving to death. Okay, so you have to have a practitioner that understands that as well, because if he just sees someone, she's 5'6", she weighs 250, I want to put her on 1,600 calories. Well, that might help the person with the fast metabolism, but if if their thyroid condition led them into that situation, they still might get fat at 1,600 calories because they might be consuming 1,200 calories a day. And again, we see that all the time, all right? So understand, a deficit will decrease thyroid production. A severe deficit will decrease thyroid production because it's literally trying to keep you alive, right? If you're in a huge deficit, your body's like, uh-oh, it's a famine, it's winter time, we have no crops, something, right? All the animals moved out of our area. Your body has to conserve energy or it will literally die. It doesn't know that you're doing a 30-day thing or a 60-day thing. It says, uh-oh, I'm about to die. So one way you don't die is you spend less calories, okay? So it downregulates energy using thyroid downregulation to make you just go, I'm just going to sit in my cave and not go out today, all right? You save enough energy to get through the famine, to get through the winter, right? To wait for the animals to come back or whatever it is. And that way your body has outsmarted you, right? Because you would be up wandering around doing all these things that burn calories. It outsmarted you into saving enough energy to get through whatever time frame is theirs, right? That's why people have such a negative emotional connection to weight loss, is that they overdo it, their hormones get all dysregulated, they have super low energy levels, and the last two hormones, I'll just throw them in right now, it's good timing, are ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is a hunger hormone. It makes you want to eat, so when it upregulates, you are starving, and it is powerful. It will absolutely drive you crazy, okay? And leptin is a satiety hormone that says, hey, I think I've had enough, I don't need to eat anymore. When you are in a deficit, ghrelin goes through the roof, leptin all but goes away, and your thyroid matrix shrinks, right? You're not making as much thyroid. So what does that mean? You're burning less calories, you're starving, and you're never full. What a nasty combination of environmentals to facilitate weight loss. It's literally there to facilitate weight gain, right? That the whole point of these hormones are to make you miserable, right? So you get up and you go hunting to get the food, or you walk a little extra to get the food. You know, when your body will downregulate energy, but in a severe deficit, right? It's going to upregulate ghrelin, which is going to make you miserable, okay? So you're never full. You're starving to death, you have low energy. That is associated, though that is the reason people associate weight loss with such a negative thing. When you say the diet to some people, their heart rate increases, right? Their blood pressure increases. And it's because it's like PTSD. They've legitimately suffered trauma from the way that makes you feel. Okay, so you got to be able to avoid that. If we're going to lose weight, we have to do it in small increments, right? If we're just in a small deficit, our body's not overreacting. It's like, I can make it through this. It's no big deal. I've got plenty in reserve. But when you're losing 2,000 calories a day, 1,800 calories a day, it's a nightmare, right? It's a nightmare emotionally. It's a nightmare physiologically. It's a nightmare physically just on your muscle, because your body's catabolizing muscle like crazy, which again, like we said earlier, we want to keep that muscle so we can burn more calories down the road. So the sweet spot on all of this stuff is if you have testosterone levels that are low, you have to fix them. If your thyroid is low, not because it's naturally low, not because you've been at a deficit, but if it's just naturally low, you need to fix it. If your thyroid is off because you've been in just an intentional deficit for way too long, you need to reverse diet your way back out of that. You need to slowly and incrementally increase your calories to increase your metabolism, okay? But again, if you're going to do that, your hunger hormones are going to be there for a while. Your satiety hormones are not going to be there for a while. You have to do it intentionally, okay? So, guys, I just want to stress the importance of working with a clinic that understands these concepts in fat loss. Any doctor that says, yeah, I'll help you lose 30 pounds in 30 days, in my opinion, okay, and I know I'm going to get blasted for this, I don't care, they're full of shit, okay? They're killing your ghrelin, you're starving to death. They're killing your leptin, or they're skyrocketing your ghrelin. They're killing your leptin. You're never full. Your energy levels are low, okay? You're burning less calories. Yeah, you might be burning less calories and eating so little you're still losing fat, but what happens at the end of that? Every single time somebody loses 30 pounds in 30 days, they almost always put it back on, right? And again, it's an emotional trauma during those 30 days. That's terrible. It's not sustainable. You should be on a weight loss program where you do exercises that you like. You know, you may not love them. It's exercise. Some people don't like exercise, but it's tolerable. Even if it's walking, just burn some calories, okay? There are so many foods out there that are healthy for you, okay? Just get creative. You can eat foods that you like, okay? And if you come at this from a volumetric volumetric perspective, there are a lot of foods that are kind of high in volume and low in calories. You can eat until you're full, again, if you're working with a good person that knows what they're doing. And it shouldn't be miserable. You should never be hungry if you're doing it right, because hunger is a sign that, hey, I really need food. And if you're in a small deficit, you don't really need food, right? You really need food if you're in a huge deficit. Your body will overpower your sensibilities with ghrelin, and it's just absolutely going to be a nightmare, okay? So with our patients, we tell them, if you're ever hungry, call us, we'll recalibrate something. If you're eating foods you don't like, call us, we're going to recalibrate something. And if you're doing exercises that you hate, not dislike a little bit, but hate, give us a call. We'll get you back on track, because the only way any of this works if it's sustainable. It's got to be sustainable for you to be able to do it long term. You know, the mind over matter thing only lasts so long. Everybody has a breaking point when you're like, man, I've been doing this for so long, I'm not getting the results. It's the definition of insanity at some point, right? It actually makes sense to quit at some point because it's just not working. But the problem is when you throw in the towel with a weight loss program, you get really fat again a lot of times, especially when these hormones are dysregulated and your metabolism is slow. So I hope this answers some questions, guys. If you have any questions, you know where to get a hold of us. 866-FIX-LOW-T or lowtnation.com. Y'all have